True. When, can governments live without companies like you anymore? And, also cybersecurity, Google, for example. I think the US needs Google for certain aspects in cybersecurity. For terrorism, they need Palantir. So how much is the state really independent any longer?
Well, again, it depends whether you think that the state, it's just like, I believe that there should be very strong, the company should have to follow the rule of the law of the land. But that actually puts us in, obviously, officially, every company's following. But do you have, for example, under the old leadership, you have a lot of companies that are clearly trying to build dominant platforms to control every aspect, and would prefer a world where they're sovereign. And that isn't going to work. So you're going to have software companies and other companies providing. I mean, this was always the case. If you look at industrial development, pre-war Germany, post-war Germany, pre-war America, during the wars, Silicon Valley only started because the radar devices that were used in World War II were built in Silicon Valley. The way of listening in on the communication against Germany was built in Silicon Valley. The whole way in which people built stealth things, that was all built together with Silicon Valley engineers. Just like if you look at the way in which a lot of the industry in Northern Europe was built, there was a military application in the beginning. The question is who controls this, under what conditions, and do people believe there's a control? So no, you will always have private industry in these areas. You have to have it because we organize people differently than a government can. That's the main thing. It's not that we have more money, it's that we organize the work differently. It's very hard to do that. Just like it'd be very hard to do research. Like you want to look, I meet his people doing research. These are people that are going to be unhappy working in a government institution, but they get specialized environment. But then it has to be clear that companies pay local taxes, that they follow local laws, that they understand they're going to have to do that they can't be circumvented.
That they have to understand, because at the moment they don't do it. I mean.
Yeah, they don't, and I mean, off the record, I've yelled at every single founder there, not for my sake, but for their sake, because you will never communicate effectively to a country if you are clearly not sensitive to their culture, their norms, and you pay no taxes. That's a losing combination.